G'day everyone, welcome back to some more Alliance War action here in PuzzleCombat, or whatever. This time around I'm back with the Horde, as I mentioned last time, so we have gotten Esquadrão Mercenário, or something to that effect. I'm apologising to any Portuguese speakers that may or may not watch this, but that's who we're up against. Translation is the Squadron of Mercenary Squad, essentially, so yeah, green tanks on their side. I figured for something a little bit different, this time I'd show my team build process as well. So essentially all of my teams are going to be a 3-1-1 setup of some description. I'm pretty much always going to go with 3 reds just because that's strong against the tank. There was one situation where I kind of toyed with changing it up where it was a double blue flank where I thought about going with greens, but I ended up going with reds anyway. So this time we've obviously got Joe and Ridge, absolutely insane combination because Ridge does mega damage but gives himself a charge ailment, which Joe can then cleanse away. So they are a little bit out of step with each other with regards to their charge speeds, but if you hold off for a turn or two with Ridge, it works out in the end. So that's the first pairing that's in there. I've then got, obviously, Accent and Ghost and Fiddle as the 3 other heroes. So, Ghost and Accent work really well together because they're both DOA 3, and it gives me that ability to heft up some of that damage from Accent. And then following it up with Fiddle, obviously, for that charge control element. So, only the 1 charge controller in Fiddle. Normally, I try to pop in 2 if I can, but this time figured 1 would be sufficient. So, I'm targeting, Sidestep there with Fiddle. Unfortunately, Sidestep resisted that ailment, or the insanity, so she ended up getting the free charge with no damage. Tank's gone, though, as is Hex. And then we've managed to charge our heroes once again, or at least Ghost once again. I've got a ghosting lane in the middle of the board, which is quite nice. So I'll target Ghost on the left where there are still 2 heroes, get the maximum benefit from it, and then make the match 3 in the middle. That charges Jocasta, so I'm going to fire her immediately, get some health back onto Fiddle. 1 HP. Literally 1 HP. So she's got 546 at the moment, and Joe healed for 545. So barely hung on there with Fiddle. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't think it really would have mattered too much. So we pop away with Ridge and Accent on the left, and now we try again with Fiddle on Sidestep. She once again resists. I get a resist this time thanks to Ridge's gun, and then we'll try a third and final time to get Fiddle dead with Sidestep dead with Fiddle, and she actually evaded that time. So 3 out of 3 shots from Fiddle landed on Sidestep, and 3 out of 3 the full effect didn't actually land, which is, yeah, what are the odds? I mean, right? So that's the first fight done and dusted. Second up, I've got Syntax in here, so Syntax is going to be my main charge control hero. He's quite slow, so a lot of what I try to do here is I build speed into the team. So how I do that is I'm going to put in charge generation in the form of Xenia. I had Pulse in there, but I figure if I'm going to go with Bunraku as well, who gives speed bonus, I don't really need such high emblem levels. So we went with +7 Xenia. We've gone also in there with Zodiac. I did pop in the Clara, ended up taking her out because she would overwrite, or be overwritten rather, by Bunraku's buff. Speed guns on everyone, just to get the charge breaks. So yeah, that's the team in the end. I went with Amethyst, as the 5th hero. So basically the team was built around Syntax wanting that charge control on red, and then we also went with Zodiac for some extra charge control. Amethyst is there for some damage, and then Bunraku and Xenia, as I mentioned, are there to try to speed up the slowness of Syntax a bit. So gotten a match 3 of 6 tiles of purple, which is enough to charge Amethyst. Got another 6, I think it was 8 tiles or 9 tiles in the end with the Ghosts, which recharged Amethyst. Almost had the kill there on that enemy torrent. Not quite enough, so I'll pop the charge control out on the left, try to get the kill shot with Bunraku on the right. Didn't get it, and then he ended up dying from a rogue tile sitting in there. Xenia's up, fired, get some tiles to come through. recharge everyone's skills. So now you can see the benefit from Senya just working really overtime. She gives off a lot of passive charge. It ends up being like 4.5 charge units, which is effectively 4 tiles worth of charge. So for someone like Amethyst, who only needs 6 tiles to charge in the first place, it's actually quite an amazing effect. So you can see it's kind of just played its way through. Couple purple tiles, recharge Amethyst, fire her again, get the win. So yeah, that's 2 from 2. So we're off and running. Third up, so I have been using the find opponent button to select my targets. I haven't been selecting people based on any particular power, so it's just a bit of a luck of the draw as to who or what we face. This time around, I'm going to build the team mostly around Rudolph and Tightwire. Good combination together because Rudolph puts an elemental debuff out on all enemies against red, and then Tightwire, because of his effect, gets AoE 3 red strikes off on those random enemies. So it's better if I had a 4 or a 5 stack of red to make full advantage of the combination, but 3 is probably about as low as I'd go, combining Tightwire. You can obviously switch it off to a different color, so use Tightwire with, say, 8-bit and 2 other yellows, and then you'll get 3 yellow attacks on 8-bit's elemental defense down. It works the same effect, basically. So yeah, we're off. We've got the team built. Went with Dragon Fist, Amethyst, and Xenia as the other 3 heroes. Enemy tank is Ayumi. So this was one of the reasons why I built the team with Rudolph in it, because Rudolph does an AoE 5 dispel, so very good for knocking that out. Rest of the team on their side, we've obviously got the enemy Parsec, who is now charged and about to fire. I try to get enough damage off on Parsec to stop her from killing anyone, but poor old Xenia and Tightwire take the absolute brunt of that attack. So Tightwire took 3 shots, Xenia took the remaining 2, which is also why she's got that shock damage that came through from firing Xenia's skill. So yeah, better play probably would have been to wait it out with Xenia, but I mean, I was hoping, the goal was to be able to try to get Xenia reviving Tightwire. So didn't work out. A little bit fortunate with the targeting there from Dynasty, because she put the effect out on the hero that was already almost dead. Unfortunately, I do now have no healer, which is quite problematic. Not too bad though in the end. So we take the kill shot on the enemy Ghost, recharge Amethyst, pop her out immediately on the right hand side, take the grenade crossy thingy, almost got everyone recharged, so this purple and yellow match will definitely get people, the 2 right hand heroes recharged, and then it also ends up with the kill shot. So yeah, came back alright. I think if Parsec had have targeted more random enemies rather than just the 2 of them, it might have been a bit different, because then when I did fire Xenia, I would have had that shock element out on, 3 or 4 living enemies rather than what ended up happening where it was just the 1. So alright, next up, we've gone with Xenia, Brock, and Blair. So we're facing another Ayumi tank. So this has got 2 heroes that can dispel already in the team. So Brock has an AoE 3 dispel. Blair has the dispel via the Demolitions talent. So both of that has a chance for the dispel. Charge control in the form of Emerald, so charge block this time. And then I've gone with Topaz to take advantage of Blair's Blaze element. So the idea being that when Blair puts the Blaze element out, I then get bonus damage on Topaz, hopefully get a kill shot, which will then propagate the Blaze element out onto 2 new enemies, and we basically keep it rolling like that. So my apologies, not an Ayumi tank, it is actually a Crockett tank. But the same theory applies. He's got the attack buff and the armor generation buff, so I'm aiming to remove it and stop it from sticking. So some nice red tiles, which gets me the kill shot on Crockett, so all that dispelling was for naught. It does still work against the 2 remaining heroes on the left, so Xenia makes a lot of buffs, and then we've also got a taunt buff that comes from that enemy variant face-off. So yeah, evasion there from the enemy variant Lillian, so bit of damage coming my way. I am holding Brock. I was holding him a little bit to try to see if I could wait out or bring out the taunt ailment. End up deciding that I've got the green tile, so I'll go for the charge block instead, which will ultimately, it works out much the same, stops the left hand side from charging, so I don't actually need the dispel. Now I've got Topaz charged. decide to pick on Xenia, basically remove the healer and reviver from the equation, so now it is permanently a 2v5, or I mean it is a 2v5 at the moment, could drop off, but it basically just levels the playing field into very much my favour. So 5v1, and then we'll finish off in style with Blair, and that's Jova. So what's that, 4 from 4? 4 from 4. So yeah, next one's the one that I touched on earlier, where I thought about going with a double or green stack. Pardon me, a green stack. The reason I considered it for this one was because Jack creates a red defense buff, and I've got a double blue tank on either side. So in theory, green is strong against the 2 flanks, but neutral against the tank, and removes fully about a third of Jack's effect. I decide though in the end, I've got the red heroes to burn, I may as well go for it. It's not, gameplay wise, it's kind of depends on which one's going to be best. You sort of just got to hope for a bit with the tiles either way. But we do end up going with the red stack, switch all of the guns over to get me speed on the 3 reds, dodge and speed on Dragon Fist, and then dodge on Fiddle. So essentially the board opens, and I do very much recall saying to myself, because I was thinking maybe I should have gone with green the whole way through, I remembered looking at this opening board and going, I should have gone with green. So there are a lot of red tiles there as well. They aren't in as good positions. We get 1 red match come cascading in, some nice tiles there to get a bit of a big match going. A lot of yellow tiles actually, which got me Dragon Fist and buys me a bit of time in the tank and 2 flanks. Take the red match 3 on the right, saving the red match 3 in the center to take out the tank and try to avoid having an unnecessarily large cascade land on him. Double tap on Ghost on the right hand side. I had thought that that would actually get the kill shot with Renegade. Fell a little bit short, which meant that she didn't get the stealth bonus for killing an enemy. But that's alright in the end. Go for enemy Amethyst with Fiddle to charge block her, and then just pumping the rest of my skills and tile damage into the right hand side on Syntax, because at this stage, as soon as Syntax dies, I've got the charge control on Amethyst on the left, so it's now a bit of a waiting game to get just that 1 tile I need, sort of thing, to finish it off. And there we go. It was there, it missed, or rather she dodged it, but the 2 fiends got her in the end. So nice quick fight in the end, but as I said, I very much considered going with a green stack there to take advantage of the dual blue flanks. Final fight. What do we do with this one? We got 1 remaining Xenia, so we chuck her in. We've got another Rudolph, we'll chuck him in. Another Tightwire, so we'll toss him in again. So again, making use of that Rudolph and Tightwire combination. Initially, I throw in Thunk for a purple damage dealer, and then my remaining Fiddle. End up setting all the weapons, looking at the defense team, and then going, no, that doesn't make sense. Thunk has absolutely no benefit to this attack team, because no one on that team really generates buff, with the exception of Jack, who I aim to kill very quickly. So I end up switching Thunk out. I go with the second Ghost that I've got, just for some damage or defense down. So now I've actually got 2 forms of defense down. I've got both normal and elemental on the red heroes. So we'll wait and see if I do get an opportunity to take advantage of both defense downs and get some mega damage. So off the rip, 4 red tiles, some of them matchable. I don't immediately take the match because of this move that I did make instead, which got me the ability to match all 4 of the tiles, whereas if I'd made the initial red match 3, I would have had 1 tile left over. It also actually transformed 4 red tiles into 5, because you'll notice what happened was there was that 1 extra one that got created in its place and gave me enough damage, or enough damage from the 5th tile to get the kill shot on Jack. So just a little bit of strategic play there to better make use of the tiles than if I had have just made the immediate red match. That was very obvious. Enemy vision has fired, done a lot of damage, but did get 2 sets of Fiddle charged and fired. So 1 on enemy Thunk, and then now I've popped a second one out on the enemy Hex. Bit of fortunate targeting there from that enemy Renegade, and you can see I've now got, well, once I fire this off, I'll have both sets of defense down on enemy Hex. So just watch to see the damage here from Tightwire, and wham! So only one of them actually procced with both sets of defense down on it, which was the 500 damage. The other one didn't, because she was already dead and it didn't count. So there you have it. We did get a bit of a smashing victory. We went 6 from 6, which is really awesome. So you can see all 6 shots there. We finished at the top of the warboard as well, 312 points. Wasn't the most points optimal scoring. There were enemies with more points, but I just let the auto target go. So yeah, 1 flag remaining our side, 0 on their side. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the battle. Oh, war chest. Forgot about that. So I've been with them for 1 war other than this one. So I get like 1 emblem, which is absolutely amazing. So anyway, that's all I got for today. So hopefully your wars went well also. And I will catch you guys all around. Till then, good luck, stay safe, and happy gaming. Cheers. Bye.